Hi, my name is Aaron Edgel, and welcome to this session where we'll dive into the programs we offer here at upGrad. Thank you for joining us. I'm very excited to be with you today. So today we're going to go through the universities we partner with, the details of the programs, what you can expect during and after the programs. We'll also go into how these programs will help you achieve your goals. We have a very international crowd today, coming from the United States, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. And we'd love to get to know you a little bit better. And so we also want to make sure we're tailoring the content to make it use our time together wisely and tailor the content to be relevant to you. So if you don't mind, we'd love if you just jump into the chat, tell us where you're from, and put any questions you have or any expectations you have from today's session. We'll make sure we answer any remaining questions at the end. And while you do that, and before we get into each program, I'd love to take some time to just briefly intro who we are at upGrad and how we work with universities to offer these higher education programs that are accessible, affordable, global, and relevant. And so we're privileged to partner with some great universities, as you can see. These are some of the best universities across the globe, coming from the United States, the UK, Europe, and Australia. And a large part of the programs are taught by their well-respected and well-recognized professors who excel at teaching these complex topics in a very engaging way. And they've been doing it for a while. They also cover a variety of fields, from data science to management to technology and law. And they range from certificate level, bachelor's, master's, you have MBAs, and also the doctoral level. And so how does upGrad fit? Where do we complement? So the educational content is complemented by real world advice, group work. We bring in expertise from subject matter experts, mentors recruited from leading companies across the globe. And you get to learn in one of the most engaging platforms there is. We've recorded tons of content. We have interactive elements. We have forums that you can participate in. And finally, and this is where I get the most excited about how we fit, is that we obsess over career outcomes, because we know you're not simply learning for the sake of it. You come with very specific goals to better yourself and to keep moving forward. And that's what drives us, is that notion that you and everyone should have the career they deserve. Whether you're just getting started, you want to stand out, you want to get a promotion, or you're looking to climb the ladder to senior leadership positions. Maybe you want to move abroad or completely switch careers. We're here to support that and guide you along that way. And we do that really, I think, in three ways. The first is we make education accessible. So you don't need to restrict yourself to local universities. As I mentioned, there are great global universities that are maybe not where you live. And so there's no need to restrict yourself to that. You don't have to quit your job or move to a campus. You can get online education wherever you are at the pace and timeline built for people who have busy work lives, personal life, families, and you're trying to balance all of those. So we take that into consideration as we design these programs. As I mentioned, the learning experience is engaging, but it's also very supportive and structured. So it's not you and your laptop in isolation trying to figure things out. Whenever you need support, let's say your concept is unclear or you get stuck on something, you can reach out. upGrad is there to help you. You can also, we also facilitate peer learning. So you can engage with a group of other students who are learning at the same time as you are in cohorts. And so you get that support too. And of course, we bring all of this at a fraction of the cost of an on-campus degree or program. And we do that without sacrificing quality. And we don't want to lose what makes a campus great. And that's the networking opportunities and belonging to a great group of people. The second thing that really differentiates us and we're able to help you achieve your goals is we give you global exposure. You constantly get exposed to global ways of thinking, to frameworks, challenges, and insights. And this is all thanks to teachers, mentors, students coming from 85 countries. We have internationally recognized universities and degrees, and you get to network with experts coming from global companies. And that means you get a little bit more access to international companies. I mean, our alumni, work at companies like Amazon, IBM, Microsoft, and Accenture. And in addition to this community of UpGrad alumni, and depending on the program, you're also able to join into this global university alumni network to keep building that international network. And the third way is you get relevant education. We want to make sure that you learn skills and gain experience that actually help you in your current and your next job. And this is all, again, thanks to bringing in subject matter experts and mentors. We provide very hands-on individual projects. We have group projects, and we make sure that the training that we provide is in-demand tools so that you're equipped to immediately add value on the work that you're working on. And then we also have modern programs. So we focus on the careers of tomorrow. We've always done that. So whether it's data science and machine learning, blockchain, or design thinking, that's still our focus and will always be our focus. And then to make sure it's relevant and to make sure that it's what you need, we offer a vast amount of career support. So you get reviews of your resume or CV, whatever you call it, where you're at. You get one-on-one mentorship and advice and more. And so all of this really is why we are a global leader in higher education. We have over 2 million people who've now learned through us in 85 countries across 80 programs. And we're proud of the exceptionally high completion rate, 87%. 75% of our learners have reported positive career impact. And finally, 45% reported rapid salary increase afterwards. Just on a personal note, this idea of being obsessed with your success is really what makes UpGrad great. And in your story and your future story, for those on here who haven't started their journey with us yet, is the UpGrad story. And that's what we obsess over, and that's what we think about all the time. So, but enough from me. Thank you for letting me take some time to give a brief introduction about who we are. I'll now turn the time over and let our learning experience team run through our programs, universities that are most relevant to you.
Hello, good morning, good evening, everyone. I'm Dalai Gautam. I'm from the learning experience team. Right, so I'll run you through the different programs which UpGrad offers, and I'll deep dive into each of the programs. And if you have any questions, we're happy to answer at the end. Let me share the screen. Mira, can you please confirm? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Hi. So with all the computers, smartphones, smart devices, which the society actually depends, we need a lot of technology professionals. And coming to today's market landscape, the great resignation, which is spoken across the globe, right? So we've seen 4 million Americans quit the job in July of 2021. And we've seen 10.9 million open jobs at the end of April, even at the end of July itself. And this is the landscape, right? Just after the great resignation, the graduates are getting a median salary. The software developer who's a graduate, right, is getting a median salary of $107,000. And the projected jobs, very surprising, right? About 300,000 plus jobs are open in the market. And when it comes to cloud architect, when it comes to blockchain developer, cybersecurity, DevOps engineer, big data engineer, the salaries range somewhere from $100,000 to $150,000 to start with, right? So this has been a great period or a great era for online learning, and then transitioning into a new profession or accelerating within the same job profile. or making yourself more acquainted to what the new technology is, right? So I'll jump on to the programs which upgrad offers, right? So I'll start off with the advanced certification program from Triple IT Bangalore. So Triple IT Bangalore is one of the topmost uh, private institutions in India, right? So this is majorly offered for the working professional, and this is the duration is about 7 months, and it's a rigorous program with 5 different tracks, right? So you can choose one of the tracks and specialize in that particular track, right? So the first track is cloud computing, the second one DevOps, cybersecurity, blockchain, and big data, right? So here there would be about 250 plus hours of content for you to go through, and there would be around 25 live sessions, right? 2 in a month, and there would be 4 projects which you would be working on the advanced certification program, right? So here you also get the alumni status of Triple IT Bangalore, right? And when it comes to executive postgraduate program, the difference here the prerequisite is they have to come from the tech background, right? So they know the basics of coding or basics of tech, and they want to specialize in a particular track. That's when this is suitable for working professionals. And when it comes to the EPGP program, which we call in short, right? So this is a 12-month program, and you have someone who is coming from a STEM background, or someone who have the tech background, uh, and there is a gap while doing these programming jobs or tech jobs. So this is suitable for them. We start from the basics, we teach for 5 months, and then for the next 7 months we specialize in one of the tracks which you like to go ahead with, right? So there are 3 tracks here again. So it's cloud computing, full stack development, and cyber security. So it's a comprehensive curriculum with capstone projects. There would be 9 projects you would be working on hands on, and then would be 10 plus tools you would be working on, right? So right from JavaScript, MongoDB, there are multiple tools which you can get it from the brochure, right? So here the advantage of taking the EPGP program is it gives you all the hands-on experience. If you are coming from a tech background, well, it's advanced certification program. But if you need the basics brush up and you want to you want to start off from scratch, so it's EPGP program for program in software development, and this is for freshers. This is freshers from STEM background, and this is for working professionals. And the advantage here is there is exclusive content access to data science and machine learning for free, right? So that's the advantage in Triple ITB EPGP program from Triple ITB. Then the exclusive program which we've launched is from the top UK university, which is Liverpool John Moores University, right? So we call it LJMU again. So here, this program is about approximately 19 months, right? So 12 months you would be working on the same projects. The rigor would be the same as EPGP program from Triple ITB, right? Here you would be learning 10 plus about 30 plus tools. In fact, there would be, this is masters, so you would be working on thesis as well. So this is a 6-month thesis, master thesis. So you would be working on dissertation, right, where you would be publishing an article or a paper on your name, right? So we already have a lot of publications on IEEE portal, right, from our learners. And the advantage here is you get alumnus status from Triple IT Bangalore, as well as LJMU, right? So you'll get master certification from LJMU and EPGP certification from IIIT Bangalore, and you have your own paper which is published in on different portals, right? So that way it builds a great resume, which is really useful for you to get onto a new job, or to progress in the same job itself, or to have that self or personal satisfaction, right? So this is approximately as mentioned, right? So this is approximately 19 to 20 months, right? So 12 months rigorously you will be working on one of the specialization, and then you will again do a master thesis in the three targeted specialization, which is cloud computing, full stack development, and cyber security, right? So if there are any questions, we are happy to take it at the end. I'll move on to the next slide, right? So the program features, so we talk about a lot, and this is the major differentiator from other competitors, right? So the cutting edge curriculum which we actually provide, right? So here the cutting edge curriculum is especially we've completely built on Merrill's first principles of instructions. So what does it mean, right? So if I ask you this question, when is the last time you remember the or you have a memorable learning experience, right? So the answer is when you do a task or when you have solved a problem, right? So the whole experience which we have built on, or the whole curriculum which we have built on, right? So this is on experiential learning, right? So we also use Cole's theory for the experiential learning, where we kind of build the whole curriculum on top of it, right? So you'll always be hands-on with the latest technology concepts and latest technology problems, also the case studies, right? Which is very much relevant to today's today's jobs, right? So that's about the curriculum and the faculty and the experts we work with, or we collaborate and work with, are the experts we generally collaborate with uh, uh, the experts who are working in, say from Amazon or the FANG companies, or from the product companies, who are actually solving the real life problems, right? Or the real life issues, right? So they actually code, they can help you understand the basics of the concepts, they end to the advanced concepts, right? So from scratch till the advanced concepts. So they can bring in all the experience to help you achieve your goal, right? So while we hire, we do the complete background check, we kind of do a, a lot of sessions, right? So uh, uh, sessions in terms of the small groups, right? So we do those sessions, and then we hire them, right? So that's about the faculty. Then when it comes to the small group coaching sessions, which is a big hit within the upgrad portfolio, right? So we gather 10 to 12 learners and make a small group, right? So who will be working on life, uh, uh, say they'll so these groups will be working on the real life problems, right? And the concepts which are actually taught in the college, taught in the live sessions, right? So they come together, they brainstorm, and they come out with a solution, right? Or they do peer-to-peer networking, and then come out with a solution, or they actually apply in the companies where their peers are working, right, in the small group session. So we call it as SGC sessions. So this has been a big hit, and we've seen groups have actually got into jobs, by referring each other, right? So SGCs have been very useful for us. And the best part, you can network from 85 plus countries across where upgrad is present, right? So I will stop sharing my screen. So Medha, do you want to take it up?
Thanks so much for this brief intro and talk about what upgrad software development programs are. And thanks to Aaron as well for such a beautiful intro to who we are as upgrad and what do we do and why we do it. Just launching a quick poll to understand a little bit more about the attendees' work experience here. What's the outcome that you're expecting so that we can pick those questions up. Now that Gautam and Aaron have very beautifully explained a lot about our programs, would love to have your questions in the Q&A box. If you want us to unmute you and you would like to ask your questions verbally, let us know. We can do that as well. All right, I can see half of you have responded. Could the other half also just press those two buttons so that we have a better understanding of your background? All right. Any questions from the audience? We're open to picking it up. My team has also shared the link to our Masters in Computer Science program in the chat. Do feel free to refer to it. All right, I see one question from Madhan. Correct me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. Do we have any program on campus learning where we need to attend physically? No, Madhan, all our programs are currently the online versions so that you can attend it from wherever you are. And we have both components, synchronous and asynchronous, which means you have recorded sessions and live sessions. Like Gautam was explaining, we intersperse your learning with amazing live sessions in the form of career coaching or live sessions from industry experts, or all of these small group coaching sessions that are conducted during the course of the program from time to time. All right, I hope that answered your question. Any other questions? All right, while the others are asking this question, one question, Gautam, that we usually get asked, and I think a few people asked us in the email that we sent out with regards to this webinar, was that I am currently in the IT field, and I have a work experience of around 4 years. So how do I decide which of the specialization tracks to choose, and what would be like really beneficial for me to select? I mean, should I go for the advanced certifications or pick more advanced courses like executive or our master's programs? You're on mute right now.
All right, sorry. So for the certification programs, as I mentioned, right? So one, if they want to specialize in one particular track, right? Either they decide or come to us and we help them decide which track to pick up, right? And with certification program, we expect the learner to know the basics of programming, right? And if they want someone to help them understand the basics again, or just to brush up the basics, we suggest to go with EPGP, which has got about 450 hours of learning, right? So 450 hours of content which is there on the platform. Also they can go through the live sessions, right? So that's a blended program. So here they would this can be self-paced, right? So they can go understand the program and then also decide. So I would suggest to go with EPGP. And when it comes to LJMU, right? So people generally tend to complete the masters as well. It's like a hand-in-hand program, right? So now we have completed, and there is a 6 months program where I'll be holding a master's degree, right? So that way, it's very useful, and you'll publish a paper on your name, which is a hooray moment for me, right? So that way, it's useful to go with LJMU program finally.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. The perks of having completed your master thesis, and also the fact that all these projects that are included as a part of the programs that we offer at upgrad are projects that you can actually include in your resumes and CV, so that when you're applying for jobs out there, you can definitely include these projects, because it's a catch 22 situation, right? That you need experience to get the right experience. And that's the whole issue we have with the job applications. and and you can definitely use these projects as a part of your resumes, and you can actually build your GitHub profiles or your Kaggle profiles, right? Which our career coaching team helps you with, and you can use that as your portfolio to present to wherever you're applying for your interviews. And that becomes a great starting point, and that is a very beautiful way of learning, which is not just theoretical but also very much industry relevant, and that's what we as upgrad offer you. All right, I hope that answered the question of the person who asked it. Any other questions on chat, Q&A box? Feel free to uh, drop it down here for us. And one more question, Gautam, for somebody who is agnostic to both our, say, cybersecurity or blockchain programs, because both of them, as you showed in your slide as well, have immense potential in terms of the number of available jobs and the growth rate, the CAGR at which each of these industries is growing, right? So any suggestions on those lines?
These days, I've seen a lot of profiles doing both cybersecurity and blockchain, right? So someone who is interested in cybersecurity, because both are really upcoming, fields where someone who has done or someone who is interested in blockchain, this is the time where it is picking up, right? So in few years time, like people are talking about software development jobs, you'll be talking about blockchain developing jobs, right? So that's how the world is changing, and especially, and everything comes with a, you could say, cyber attack or whatever, right? So that way cyber security jobs are also really upcoming field, as in every company nowadays have those cyber security engineers for sure, right?
Correct.
So that's a that has become a mandate. that's
Right.
that's that's how it is working in the tech world.
Thanks for that, Gautam. One of the questions also was, could you tell us and throw some more light on why do we call our programs and why do we pride ourselves in saying that we are industry relevant when we prepare our content? Could you just throw some light on how do we go about preparing the curriculum? Like, what are the steps that we take, and why do we call ourselves industry relevant?
All right, so industry, and especially in the tech world, right? So every 6 months you see a change, and it's so fast that picking up is really difficult, right? You never know where is the structured content available, or structured what do we say, the right kind of content available. So there's a lot of confusion when it comes to picking up the right program, right? So people generally uh, they pick up something which is at a lower cost, or they've seen something fancy, some false promises, whatever, right? So what we do in terms of building the content is, one, we kind of scrape about 100 or 200 different job descriptions on a uh, particular profile, right? And it might go up to 500 as well, right? So we scrape those particular job description, and we also ensure the target audience whom we sell this program, right? We understand from their shoes, right? So I say if I'm not from coding background, right? I understand what are the problems which they face, right? That is our starting point. We identify the target audience. We do the job scraping, generally the job description scraping, right? And then we come back and say this is relevant. Then we put a skeleton to it, right? While building that skeleton, we also reach out to a lot of industry experts, right? So we speak to industry experts, and then we kind of get it vetted, right? Whether this is relevant, whether this is not relevant, or some addition, some subtractions, and then finally we say we start, you know, filling in the whole skeleton, right? So skeleton of the curriculum. Here, what happens is while doing that, we get a lot of subject matter experts to record the content, because generally people might not attend the live sessions, right? So they might skip, and they might be, once they skip, that becomes a habit, right? And then they'll not be able to pick up, right? So what we have done is we have come up with recorded sessions so that they can kind of go back, revise those particular topics, and come back and sit in the live session, right? So that's the reason we record a lot of sessions with the subject matter experts, right? And their profiles are already available on the website, brochures, everywhere. So this is the whole process which we follow, right? And especially while, as I mentioned, right, so we follow the Merrill's first principles of instructions, right? Everything hands on, right? So how do you remember the concepts? So especially if you do it yourself, if you have solved a problem and you've seen the result, that's when the learner would actually remember everything, whatever he goes through, right? Or whatever he learns. So that's how we end up building the content.
That's amazing, Gautam. Thanks for describing it in so much detail, and I hope all of you appreciate the effort that goes behind on a continual basis, because we keep upgrading our curriculum according to the changing needs of the industry in itself, and we do it at a frequency which all of you will benefit from, because we don't want to discriminate between people who enrolled 6 months prior, and if there's any new updation in the content, we don't say that, okay, fine, no, it's going to be applicable from say 6 months from now, right? But you also get benefit of the updation of this curriculum. You have access to the curriculum for 3 years, so that you can come back, refresh your concepts and learning whenever you want to. And a host of things that Gotham spoke about, right? You also have access to all the live sessions in the form of recordings, so that you can come back and look at it in case you missed it due to any other commitment of yours. And that's how we encourage learning, and we support lifelong learning and want to be your 360-degree career support partner. All right, one of the questions was that I was asked was, how do you ensure that job opportunities are available for global learners? So the way in which the university partnerships that we currently have themselves have alumni networks that span across all continents. So when you do programs through them, you also get benefit of the alumni networks that are present, and you can tap into those for your outreach, for getting to know a little bit better about the firm you're interested to join, about the country you're wanting to immigrate or transfer to, and a host of other things that you want to know, and to prepare yourselves professionally and to get that acceleration in your career. So that being said, we also have amazing career coaches inside with upgrad, and we partner with great industry mentors with whom you can schedule one-to-one mentorship calls and understand about gaps in your resume, areas for improvement, and also ask them questions specific to any jobs that you're wanting to apply to. So all of this comes as an added advantage to what we offer here, along with the recorded sessions and live sessions that we offer. All right, I hope that answered the question. And I do not see any more questions that are open from what of you would like to check with Gautam if there is anything that Gautam you get asked very often and you'd like to answer.
All right. So, as you've mentioned it very clearly, or you've talked about this problem, right? Which program to select, right? I come from a tech background, but then what is working well, as in, right? So it's their own, decision. If I have to pick up, everything looks fancy, right, from the outside world. So maybe blockchain is picking. So someone where whenever they come to upgrad, we help them to understand which specialization to take up, but they have to do their own background check, right? So that's very much needed. After working in blockchain industry after 5 years, they might realize that cybersecurity is picking up now, right? So the best way to go about it is start off with the certification program, right? When they start off with the certification program, they understand the rigor, right? If they require any prerequisite training, right, then they can go with the EPGP program, right? You learn for 12, 13 months. And then once they're hands on, definitely they want to, put their knowledge on paper, right? That's when they end up in LJMU, right? So they can pick up one specialization which they have done their market research, and come down with, say, out of those 3 specializations, and they come back and end up doing a master's from LJMU, right? So that's the decision, and that's the flexibility upgrad gives, right? So we are not constrained to, you have taken certification program and we are done, right? So we always want the learner to come out or go with the best outcome which he have which he has expected from upgrad. So that's our goal. Yeah.
Correct. And they are so beautifully created so that they can just fit on each other as blocks, which means you don't really have to undergo the full duration again, right? So if you've already covered a part of the curriculum, you just have to keep adding on to the next level without having to go through the curriculum from scratch, because you've already done those many levels of study. So that's how they're built as building blocks. So thanks for talking about that, Gautam. And once seeing no more questions from the audience, I'd like to thank you for answering each question so patiently. And thank you so much, everyone, for taking out time today for attending this session. I hope it was helpful. Do feel free to write to us at admissions@upgrad.com. I'm just typing that down on the chat box. That's our email ID, or get in touch with your admissions counselor who you're already in touch with to understand a little more about any questions that you have with regards to our programs and how they add value to you and help you with upskilling and transitioning and accelerating your career growth. Thank you, Gautam. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.